So, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome back to Premier League transfer updates. And it's a fire sale. It is a fire sale down at Stamford Bridge. There's so many players about to leave Chelsea. It's mad. Before we get into that, I do just want to say thanks very much to everybody who is subscribed to the channel. Very close to 45k, which has been a mad journey, really. 20 months. And we're nearly on 45k, which is pretty damn relentless. So just wanted to say thanks very much, really, to everybody who has subscribed. It's been very quick in the process. The process, trust the process. Thank you to everybody who does watch all the videos. Stick a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't, and do follow my Insta, LeeGunner82. I would massively appreciate that. But let's start off with this young man, Tomori. And Fikayo Tomori is on the verge of joining Everton, according to Fabrizio Romano on Twitter. And not a bad little player, this guy, is he? Centre-back, he can play right-back, he can play left-back, in fact, but predominantly a centre-back. When he was on loan at Derby, he actually smashed it. He played really, really well for Derby County. To the point where Derby fans, and my youngest brother is a Derby County fan, and he didn't want him to go. I think, listen, let's be real here. Derby County are in the Championship. Tomori's level is not Championship. I do think he is Premier League standard. I think that he's a good up-and-coming player. He's obviously not going to get a look in at Chelsea. They've signed Thiago Silva, Milan, albeit he's out on loan. And then you look at Rudiger. They've got other players, Christensen. They've got Aspilicueta who can play there. And Zuma as well. So listen, he's not going to get a look in down at Chelsea. But if they can get a few quid from Everton, then I'd imagine they'd probably sell him. And the thing is, Chelsea have got a long history of selling players for decent transfer fees. Another one I'm going to come on to is this guy. The fee is not completely agreed yet, but believe it or not, this guy is going to end up going to AC Milan for somewhere in the region of about 30 million quid. For 3-4 years after Chelsea bought him for 40 million quid. It is unbelievable. He's been loaned out to Monaco, AC Milan, etc. And they're going to get nearly all of their money back for this guy, which is just outstanding business. And something that Arsenal need to look at and say, do you know what? We've actually got to start looking at other clubs and start seeing how they do business, because Chelsea go and get the players that they want. They don't get bullied. They say, yo, we're Chelsea Football Club. We want your player. We're going to tap him up anyway, because we'll speak to his agent beforehand, which you are now allowed to do. Whereas back in the day, it was called tapping up. So they already sourced the player, sourced the agent, agree personal terms with the player, which then makes it very easy to then bully the club that player is at. And Chelsea don't tend to get ripped off too often. And if they do, like they did with Bakayoko, they get nearly all of their money back, which is mental. Let's move on to another Chelsea player. It's all Chelsea today, really. And I've got a Fulham one as well we're throwing. But Zappacosta, he is going to be leaving the club as well next week, according to Fabrizio Romano as well. Also Emerson. Emerson is going to be leaving as well. Whether they're loan moves or whether they're deals that actually go through for a transfer fee remains to be seen. But there are clubs linked to them. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens on that one. Let's move on to the main story of the day for Chelsea, and that is this guy, Batshuayi, Batman. Do you remember that? Batman went on loan at Dortmund and done very, very well at Dortmund. And he come back. He hasn't really had a look in at Chelsea. He's not Chelsea standard, is he? He's not Chelsea level. And Chelsea's level is what they've got now in terms of striker. Timo Werner, the Burner, Kai Havertz, players like that. They are Chelsea level. Batshuayi is going on loan. I shouldn't really laugh because it's a good signing for Crystal Palace, but he is going on loan to Crystal Palace. Not sure if there's an obligation or an option to buy him, but he is going on loan to Crystal Palace. And listen, that's not a bad signing for Palace. He does score goals. He can bully centre-backs. He is a big guy. Can score headers. He can score a screamer. He can score different types of goals. The one thing I will say here is that's kind of cemented Tammy Abraham's place in the squad, because you're going to need a few strikers at Chelsea. Timo Werner's going to need a bit of time to settle in. They've got Olivier Giroud. They've also got Tammy Abraham. That was the final nail in the coffin for Batshuayi, hence why he's going down to Palace. And listen, it's only around the corner. It's still in London. It's a good deal for him. It's a good deal for Chelsea. It's a great deal for Crystal Palace. They've got a decent footballer that's probably around their level. I think he'll do all right, if I'm honest, at Palace. I think he'll bag more goals than Benteke, that's for sure. What a demise of Benteke, eh? Jesus Christ. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on all of them. Chelsea have done some fantastic business this summer. With the Eden Hazard money, with the Morata money, with the Bakayoko money when that eventually comes. Their spend out to their gains back in, their net, if you want to call it, is going to be next to nothing. They have had an absolutely mad transfer window. And the Banter Club haven't. Let's move on to the last player I want to speak about, and that is this guy, Areola. He has joined Fulham. Again, a great coup for Fulham. He has joined Fulham on loan for the season. And good luck to them, man, apart from on Saturday when we play them. I hope we batter them. But that is a good signing for them. And they need a goalkeeper that's going to have a wealth of experience, albeit he's been on the bench this season for Keylor Navas. But he is a decent goalkeeper, this lad. I don't think he's the elite goalkeeper. Obviously, he would be starting if he was. But to come into Fulham, I think that's a great signing for them. And it's going to be interesting to see how he does. Will he make his debut against Arsenal at the weekend? We shall see. He signed in time, so we shall see what happens with that. But I'd love to know your thoughts on all of that. Leave it in the comment section down below. Batshuayi, do you think that's a good move for him to Chelsea? Zappacosta, never really done it in the Premier League, did he? Always a weird signing, in my opinion. Tomori, what do you think to Tomori? Do you rate him? Would you take him at your club? Leave it in the comment section. And then obviously Bakayoko. I think we all know what everyone thinks of Bakayoko. 30-odd million quid, you know. And then Areola, let me know what you think of him. Don't forget, I will be back around 6 o'clock tonight with a transfer update and Arsenal one live stream. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. And then 9 o'clock, it'll be an uploaded video tonight, not a live stream. If you are a Chelsea fan and you want to go and check out the stream I did yesterday with Matisse Armani, go and check that out. Really good stream. Really enjoyed speaking to him. And yeah, man, go check that out. Last video, or one of the last videos on the channel. Until 6 o'clock, laters, peeps.